And welcome back, guys, to the Pinnacle 2. We just got word that Deflor has to take another 10 to 15 minutes before it can start. So unfortunately, because of that, we do have to advance our life coach forward so that we actually keep the schedule moving. We don't want what happened in Monday to happen, right? I mean, with patch day, that was kind of fine, but if it's a player problem, then unfortunately we do have to move on.
That's just one of those things in tournaments. You have schedules and you can't delay everyone else because you're having an issue with it. So
Yeah,
that's the
and of
rules.
course, once again, this is a live tournament, so we're doing our best here. If we actually we do have the brackets loaded up for the last day here. We do have Strifecro versus TBD, and the TBD is going to be a life coach here. So the winner of this will actually advance to the grand finals, and the loser will actually go forth to the losers bracket where they have to win a match, and then they can move on to the grand finals.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how this ends up panning out because Strifecro actually got his a win based on scheduling too. So we have two players in the winners bracket who've both gotten they're gonna be playing based off their other ones. So this is the grueling bracket they've come through to get to this point. I'm kidding. These are tough players, and any match you win in this one is just as hard as basically the next one, except for this one in particular, which is going to be Lifecoach versus Strifecro. I mean, that is. Oh gosh, that's going to be a tough match because those guys, they have very similar play styles. They have very similar approach to the game. The major difference that I would see is that Strifecro has a lot more experience than Lifecoach does.
Yeah, that's true. I think Strifecro does have the volume of games behind him, and I mean, if Strifecro and Life Coach play the same amount of games or same amount of time, then Strifecro will pull in more games, right? Don't you think?
Oh yeah, it's Lifecoach. Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, we'll definitely see how that works, and if we can actually load up their deck list right now, we see that once again Strifecro is using oh, not quite yet. Okay, there we go. We'll remove all the X's here. Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't kidding when I said these guys pretty much play the exact same way. They pretty much play the exact same way. They
Okay.
both attack the board with very aggressive styles. They both value, the ability to make more decisions a lot more than their opponent does on average. And it's just they just have such. It's crazy to like watch these two players side by side. Like when you really look at their games and analyze them. I mean, I basically watch Hearthstone VODs for a living,
Uh-huh.
and it's like these two guys are like neck and neck on how they play. Like if Lifecoach had the time to play more tournaments, I think given enough time to play them, granted he needs twice as long as Strifecro does, you're gonna see him again start to put up these kinds of results. And from what I understand, their deck lists are going to be very similar. The play styles again going to be very similar. I have no idea how this one's going to end up panning out because it's very rare that you see anyone who's even capable of playing on Strifecro's level. And now you're going to see a mirror match of that. And here's the other thing too: is that both of these guys are very intelligent players, and they're thinking
Right.
about what their opponents are thinking. They have to be aware that the other person is playing the way that they're playing. And I'm curious if they're going to make adaptations to that, or if they're going to just try to play the exact same game that they always have and see if they can just beat their opponent.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I'm not really sure if actually are they playing the kind of the same druid list?
Well, Strifecro's playing Zombie Chows in a Ramp Druid list.
Right.
And if we remember correctly, Lifecoach is playing. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
playing
yeah.
Ramp Druid, right?
Yeah, Lifecoach is playing Ramp Druid too, but there might be some differences. I think the main difference right now between Ramp Druids if they run the BG ageable targets or not, right? I believe Strifeco is not even running Dr. Broom in this Druid list, so that is pretty interesting. Um, it's interesting to also note that before GVG came out, everybody rated Trogzor as one of the best 7 drops, but then nobody ended up playing them. They were giving arguments such as they can't play any spells. If they do, you're gonna get a lot of value. Trogzor doesn't get out of the BGH range, for example. But why is this card not seeing play?
I think the major difference is just how strong minions were. Like Doctor Boom being a lot stronger than everyone anticipated it being, except for a handful of people who just recognize the power of that card.
Mm-hmm.
It contests Trogzor very well, and I think it's one of the reasons it's actually being held down. A lot less to do with Trogzor not being good because the card I think is very good, and a lot
Okay.
more to do with just the fact that the minions that decks that will play lots of spells
Uh-huh.
play. Doctor Boom is one of them, and Doctor Boom just happens to straight up contest the card and get extra value from it. So it's like it's going the one step ahead. Like Trogzor is getting value from spells, but Dr. Boom is getting value from cards like Trogzor.
I see. So that's actually a stomp in a environment where both are played, then the person with Dr. Boom usually just wins.
Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Boom does require an answer immediately, because otherwise those two boom bots are annoying enough, right? So you better remove the main body. So it's just a pretty crazy card there.
Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just there is power in just attacking, and even if you're just attacking for 2, if you just don't deal with the boom bots, 3 turns later you've taken 6 damage from his battle cry, or it's dealt damage to your minions, and then you're also have the potential to take more damage from the battle cry. Like it's just worth so much, and each boom bot is going to be 2.5 damage on death rattle, and then 1 damage on its power. So they're each dealing 3.5 damage, and then plus the 7 damage from Dr. Boom. It's like 13.5 average damage when you have to kill it with minion attacks.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think if boombots actually targeted random stuff, like including your own minions and your own hero?
I think it'd be bad then. It would just be a liability.
I mean, it's still a 7/7 with 2 boombots that you can hit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you're the one initiating the attack, and you get 1 damage off of the for the minion, right? I kind of treat like the extra damage from the boombot to be like an extra thing. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
extra things should not be always good.
The problem you're gonna have is when you play Dr. Boom and someone whirlwinds, and then both the boombots hit the Dr. Boom and he dies.
Oh,
You're never gonna play that card again after that.
oh. Well, I mean, would it be more balanced, for example?
I
Would it be,
think
for example,
well, Kit Kat's had a really good fix on in the first Talkstone episode where he said that he thinks that Dr. Boom's death rattle should be summoned to boombots.
okay.
Which I was like, oh, that's perfect because you still get the boombots out of it, but not everything hits you at once.
Sure, but what if does that indirectly nerf mind control tech, for example? Like, there's a lot of like levels here, right?
Yeah, I think it's fine to indirectly nerf mind control deck, a card that's already like a pretty niche card anyway. And like I don't think that like Dr. Boom was originally the reason it was used, but the real reason it was used, Firebat really broke it down. I was trying to figure out ways to say it, and I just couldn't do it. And he broke it down super well, where he said that in a deck like Ramp Druid, you surrender the board early, and when you surrender the board early, your opponent's going to get to 4 minions very often. And then when your opponent gets to 4 minions, you make up the value with mind control tech, and then start playing big taunts to get the rest of it back.
And the big bombs as well. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so yeah, players should be heading to the game soon. They're just starting it up, and of course, this is the exact mirror match, right? So it'll be interesting to see what the player strategy are. If they are if they play as as you said, Admirable, then maybe they both will start with the same deck. I would personally predict both players playing Druid here.
That's what I've been predicting the entire tournament. And then in the last match, of course, they started with Mech Mage and Paladin.
Yeah, which is completely blowing things apart.
I can see both of them starting with Mech Mage.
Mm-hmm.
Really, all of them make sense to me except for leading with Handlock. Handlock to me makes
Handlock seems
sense.
like it really wants to target one of these other matchups. I mean, once again, Handlock versus Mage. I feel like Handlock does have a very good it has a good lots of ways to deal with it. Sludge Belcher and TQ Bot, they both heal for 7 and 8 respectively in a sense. And you also have like a wall of taunts. So especially if the Mage doesn't have a good start, I think the Handlock it's just gonna run over to the game.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see more of that matchup. That's one of the ones that I really, really want to see more of, is Handlock versus Mech Mage. Because the other thing too is I think one of the ways that you can get such a distinct edge, and this may have been one of the ways that I was actually getting it too, is that Mirror Entity is so good sometimes versus Handlock. Like you just blow them out of the water with it, and Lifecoach is playing 2 Mad Scientists and playing 2 Mirror Entity.
Mm-hmm.
And so if Strifecro isn't like really careful or like able to play like a Sun Fury Protector or an Ancient Watcher into it, he's just gonna get crushed. He's gonna give his opponent an 8/8 off of a death rattle.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, I think Handlock in one of those ways, because they do have these Ancient Watchers and Sun Fury Protectors, and even with like Zombie Chow, for example, that are popping up in some Handlock lists, it's just a better matchup than a Druid, right? Let me a Ramp Druid. A Ramp Druid is fine, but then because they have Zombie Chows, right? But if it's like a combo Druid, the smallest minion you can give to your opponent is a Shade, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want that. You don't want to give them a Druid Claw. You don't want to give them a Belcher or a Spectral Knight if you play one. Ancient on the Floor seems pretty bad as well. So it's just really, really bad.
Yeah, that's one of those cards that is a blowout scenario. That's one partially the reason I hate playing against it as I'm Druid. Is just everything they have at every step of the way seems like it's as efficient as you, except it's like 1 mana step ahead of the curve. And you fall behind the entire game. It's going to be underway. I said Handlock was the only one that didn't make sense to me. Of course, so both of them are thinking about that. And they're like, if Handlock doesn't make any sense, that means I should play Handlock. So both of them have started Handlock instead, of course.
And whoa!
Strifecro's just going to coup it straight away, too. And wow, I'm stunned right now. I have no idea what's going on. I guess he just really doesn't want to play the mirror match that badly. Is really what it is. I'm so surprised that, because Handlock actually doesn't feel like it's that good versus these matchups. I guess it makes sense to just start with it right out of the gate. And a lot of people are kind of thinking along the lines of like, well, I thought Handlock was good versus Druid. It definitely used to be, but lately we've just been seeing Handlock get dismantled by Druid just every single time. And Paladin, the deck that we always thought was so good against Handlock, hasn't been doing very well. And as Amaz mentioned, I think it was on day 1. It's just so many of these Paladin decks have only been running 1 equality lately, because they just need access to it. They don't necessarily need to draw one. It's not like pre GVG where you had to have 2 Wild Pyromancers and 2 equalities.
Right. Isn't it that one time in the meta was like Sea Story Cup where you run 2 Doom Hammers, not because you want to use 2, it's just because you want to draw that one really, really badly?
Yeah, Chalky actually did that at stage 2 of BlizzCon qualifiers too, where he ran 2 Doom Hammers, and it's because he just wanted to drop one on turn 5 and start getting them. And I mean, that sort of strategy is very similar. Like when Paladin needs to draw a quality, you should play 2 qualities, but it doesn't always need to draw one.
That's true. That's true. Sometimes you just play 2 cards just because you want to use one faster than the other one. You do have like 30 cards in your deck, right? So putting 2 cards instead of 1 does double the chances of you drawing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Strifecro is pretty happy right now. I'm not really sure what's happening there.
Looks like he's reading some internet comics. He's like, "Oh, Garfield, you're so silly."
His smile is so funny. Oh man, Strifecro is one of the best smiles, don't you think?
Yeah, he's just a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely reading Garfield comics. You can just tell. That's exactly how long it takes to read the ones of this Sunday's paper.
Really?
Yeah, and him and I live in the same. We live in the Houston area, so we're both getting the same newspaper.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That's what he's doing.
Well,
Bet the farm.
Well, yeah. We'll definitely see what's happening. Oh, I guess we just got word of the delay. It so happened that Lifecoach accidentally picked Warlock again. So we have to like restart this. We had to make another game basically. So yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, if I could just ignore my opponent's coup, I think that's a really good strategy. Also, just completely ignore the rules of the tournament and do whatever you want, and then you're good.
Yeah. So
that's a solid. That plan sounds solid. Yeah. It's just.
I'm gonna use my coup to coup your coup. Actually,
I'll just coup your coup out of the way, so you can't coup. Yeah. The deck that I don't want you to coup.
Oh boy.
I think Lifecoach is gonna go with Druid.
I think Lifecoach is gonna go with Druid as well. But then because once again Paladin is pretty weak, and Mage is just like not that insane.
Does have 2 mirror entities in his Mage deck though.
That's true, but once again, with the it depends on what Strifecro runs, right? Yeah, Lifecoach is gonna go to the Druid like we predicted, and here we go.
And we'll get his hand up in a second, as soon as we get that available.
Oh,
and
there
it is.
Oh, there you go. Just needed to reset the screen there.
Yo, that is not a good one, but it's not a bad one. He's got some utility early on.
Okay.
But 2 Ancient Allures sitting in his hand looks really ugly right now.
They do look pretty zen. Their pose is like the yoga pose, right? The meditation pose. So they look pretty. You can't say they don't look pretty.
Namaste.
Okay. Well, Strifecro here is obviously going to attack for the next 2 turns. Hopefully draw a threat that he can actually play at turn 4. Lifecoach, on the other hand, he could choose to coin a Shade here, but it'll also render you know, his turn's pretty bad. He'll really need to draw like a 5-drop or even an innervate, because these turns just look pretty ugly.
You know, I don't mind coining a shade here because he knows he's playing against Handlock.
Okay.
So, like the coupled with the Wrath, the shade can deal with a giant if he decides to coin it out now.
Okay.
Or he can even choose to use Savage Roar and pay some life. I actually like coining the shade here, and it's very rare that I like doing something like this when you don't have like a turn 3 or a turn 4 play. But if his plan right now is to play turn 6 Ancient of Lore, I think he's just gonna end up losing because he didn't do very much.
All right.
I can see there's a lot of benefits to saving it, of course, though, too, because this isn't accounting for the times that like he draws a 4-drop and needs to coin it out next turn, or he draws a 5-drop and wants to coin it out on turn 4. So, I mean, there are definitely merits to both sides, but I don't like if he chose to coin shade here, I wouldn't have thought it's a terrible play by any means.
Yeah, that's true. Strifecro still hasn't found a threat yet, so still searching really hard. Lifecoach here, turn 3, shade. That just seems a bit better than coining a shade. Keeping the coin for, you know, maybe a possible, you know, keep the grove at turn 5 to use that to hero power the Twilight Drake, or even the turn 6 Ancient of Lore. But man, that kind of hand isn't really that good. And hey, we were mistaken. Lifecoach is actually playing the Combo Druid.
Yeah, I don't actually, for whatever reason, I just really don't remember him playing this Druid deck. Maybe we just actually didn't see it play. Did he get it cooed?
I actually don't really remember. Huh. We only get to see Lifecoach play once, right? So, yeah.
Strifecro's hand not looking too exciting at the moment.
Not indeed.
What do you think of the merits of just Hellfiring here?
I mean, you could. At the same time, you could also tap and play a Watcher and search for more threats, but the Shade is always going to be there, right? So, yeah, Strifecro's going to just spend his turn to get rid of the Shade. But fortunately for Strifecro, Lifecoach doesn't have a very good turn here. Like, wow.
Well, no, this is an excellent turn. He could hero power. He could Savage Roar. He could keep his opponent's face for 2 when the silence is an absolutely crucial mechanism in this matchup.
Well, Lifecoach is like looking at this hand and going like, what the heck is this?
Master level hero power. He has nothing to do. This hand is awful.
You know, keep up the groving your opponent's face is actually worse than a Stormwind Knight, you know? You might as well be playing Stormwind Knight by then.
For the king.
For the king.
For honor.
Yeah.
It's like the least exciting card in the game.
Oh, man. It's okay.
Lothab gonna get jammed down here by Strifecro. And Lifecoach is just gonna play a turn 5 Shade and hero power. Nice. My goodness, what an ugly hand this has been so far.
Well, it's better than if he didn't draw the Shade, would it just been like a turn 5 hero power and pass?
I think he would have ended up keeping the Lothab for 2.
Really?
Yeah, you just got to get something going. You can't just let the Lothabs hit you for like 15 or whatever.
Right, but that's really ugly. Lifecoach here decided not to attack with his face. The chat is all gonna go like 1 miss damage, you know.
Now when he's 1 damage off of lethal.
No, we're just gonna spam misplay. Yeah. Damn it, Twitch chat. But yeah, obviously Lifecoach is playing around like a Molten Giant a little bit way earlier beforehand. Strifecro on the other hand here does notice that. So he's just gonna tap here and go to the Molten Giant range himself. That's one of them.
I'm curious if he's gonna taunt up Lothab or just taunt up the Sun Fury.
Just the Sun
Fury.
Fury.
Just taunt up the Ancient Watcher.
Taunt up the
Sun Fury. Yeah, I like doing this. This keeps him really not. This helps avoid some of the consequences of Black Knight. Like if he had taunted up Lothab and Lifecoach had Black Knight here, he would just lose his 5/5 that can attack versus his 4/5 that can't attack.
So now, in Lifecoach's position, what the heck do you do? All these cards are just bad, and if you coin an Ancient of Lore here, you just do you actually lose a card? No,
Yeah,
not really.
you get a 7 and then you get a 9.
Yeah, but oh man.
It doesn't
So
really
if
have anything
these
to
two
do,
cards,
honestly. Yeah.
then,
It just doesn't. It doesn't really have anything else to do.
yeah. Wow, these are all cantrips. Okay, swipe is something, I guess.
Oh,
Ooh,
back-to-back Molten Giant draws. Maybe that one damage. He's just a genius. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna deal one less. Strikeco's running one golden Molten Giant and one regular Molten Giant.
wait, we see a lot of people do this. Is there actually a benefit to doing this?
I don't know anymore. Now I'm curious because Strifecro like never plays his cards this way.
Yeah. Wait, if Strifecro is doing it and other people are doing it as well, then something must be up.
Yeah, we need to investigate this.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we definitely do. But here for Strifecro, I guess tapping is really, really strong here because you want to get the Molten Giants out of the way. But of course, you're against the Druid, so you're always scared of the combo. Mm. What do you do here? Seven Souls thing. Mm.
It's really tough to say. It's like I mean, I think trading is definitely an option here.
Ooh, Hellfire gonna be used
Whoa!
offensively, and now he's down to 14 health. He does that to combo Druid, but hey, look at those Molten Giants. Those are looking
Big
playable.
Game Hunter shows up though.
Uh-oh. That's a lot of cards for Lifecoach's hand. Look at the hand.
He's the only person I've
Wow.
ever met that could just end up with this many cards in his hand every single game.
Oh my god. Well, what do you do here? I mean, keeping the Lothab sounds looks pretty tasty, but you do not have a follow-up. I guess your follow-up is to just Wrath the Ancient Watcher, right? Or just do it the
Yeah,
other.
I don't really know if you need to Wrath the Ancient Watcher. You could
Right.
also, I mean, Azure Drake and then here Wrath for 2 on the Lothab isn't bad either.
Right, but then you lose a card, right?
No. Wait, do you?
Yeah,
10?
you draw a card with each of those.
Yeah,
So
you're right. You're right.
Again. That's really awkward.
What was I thinking?
But I guess do you actually? Well, I guess you just Wrath for 4 then, right?
If that's the case, I'd rather just not use Azure Drake.
Hmm. Ancient of Lore is not usable as well here, right? So it's like, oh man. All these
He
cards
could have
are
healed for 5.
But then it dies to like the Lothab as well. Azure is gonna see play here. Lothab would have been pretty good here as well, right? Wrath for 4 damage most likely here. Yep.
Oh gosh.
This is so awkward. Back to Strifecro side. I mean, if you're Handlock and you looked at the Druid not able to play any of cards, aren't you scared of something like, you know, BGHs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think they certainly come into account.
Yeah.
And with this many cards in hand, it would be very surprising for me if Strifecro didn't do something to fortify his health position this turn, which I imagine is going to be Sludge Belcher.
You know what? How do you like silencing this, training Drake, tapping, and then playing the 2 Molten Giants?
I think it's fine, but he definitely has to be concerned with I mean, with this many cards are in hand, you definitely have to be concerned with like innervate combo stuff.
Innervate combo. I never play around Innervate because every time I try to play around Innervate, you just lose. Yeah, that card is just like you can't play around it. You know, if someone draws an Innervate, I wish it was just like show like face up. So
Oh,
yeah,
but he certainly can play around it here. He just plays Sludge Belcher and then bam, he's played around innervate.
Well, yeah, but then you don't establish super board, right? Like the Molten Giants would have been superb.
Well, you can't have everything you want, can you, Amaz? The Rolling Stones told me that. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes,
Gotta
you
try
might
hard.
find. If you try hard sometimes, you might find.
Definitely. So now what? Lifecoach has 8 mana. Man, all these cards are pretty hard to see. It does have 2 keepers. Does have the swipe and it's so funny because you can't play any cards that draw cards.
Yeah, this is a pretty strange spot to be in. I mean, this is really rare that you see someone just unable to actually draw cards.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind swiping and wrathing for 1. It just something you have to get something done.
Okay.
And none of these cards do anything right now.
Well, how about just throw a keeper out there to ping the Belcher off after swiping it?
Do you like that more than trying to dig for innervate?
I don't want to dig for any more cards at this point. Oh, oh wow.
Lifecoach disagrees. He's going to dig straight away and finds another card that can help him dig in a couple of turns here.
This is such a weird thing. Like, Druids actually do not like his cards. It's the weirdest thing ever. The Silence is going to come down here most likely. And opens Lifecoach up to the combo victory here. Man, this is some weird stuff.
It's not attacking
too. This is really scary for Strifecro right now.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta believe he really wants to play a Molten Giant in Antique Healbot this turn.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get a Rude Awakening if he does that.
Which is?
The big Game Hunter in Lifecoach's hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna go with this Mortal Coil instead.
Okay.
Wow, so patient. Oh, picks up Earthen Ring Farseer.
Not a card we see often, but when it does see play, it does surprise your opponent a lot. What else can you do? Strifecro, you wanna Molten and Farseer yourself, right?
I mean, that's what it feels like to me.
That Silence is a very suspicious. Right? You have 8 cards, and you chose the Wrath for a card, and then Silence. Very suspicious.
If my opponent had done this, I would definitely assume that they had combo. Like, there's really no way around it.
Right. So yeah, there you go. Strifecro just heal up a little bit.
Oh gosh.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, big Game Hunter almost for sure happening.
Along with 6 mana. What you do with 6 mana? Play Lothab. Lothab is pretty good.
Is that 5 cost a Lothab? Oh, he's got an Azure Drake and a Lothab. It's so hard to see these cards in hand.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cards. It's very rare that we see Druids have that many cards, right?
It's pretty rare to see anyone have 10 cards in their hand.
It's not a Handlock, right?
Yeah.
Alright, BJ is gonna shoot this Molten back to the Molten Cave, I guess. And Lothab is gonna come down here to seal out some of Strifecro's outs. Well, this is a lot of pressure for Strifecro to deal with.
Ooh, Jiraxis gets picked up. That's not going to be good for a very long time, though. Strifecro's looking like he's in pretty dire straits here, actually.
Yeah.
This is just... I mean, he doesn't have a way to taunt at all. And these minions don't threaten what's happening on the board. Siphon Soul costs 11 mana right now. I don't actually know if he can win this game.
Well, he needs to tap right now. He doesn't know. I mean, we know that he needs to tap because currently his answers can't really do anything. I mean, if he trades for the BGH and plays Antique Healbot, does he live?
He's going to go to 25. And then he's facing down 21 points of damage. I mean, he'll live, but you have to consider how he eventually gets to a winning position.
Oh,
entirely. Ooh, Sludge Belcher might be able to help this out a little bit. A tiny bit. Do you just play the BGH because I mean your opponent is playing like a more of a combo version and okay. Strifecro is not dead yet because Lothab only pushes 7 damage, and 7 plus 14 in my opinion, or in my professional Hearthstone career, I can count is 21. Wow, Lifecoach is playing 2 copies of Big Game Hunter.
2 copies.
His Druid deck.
Wow. So even yet another dead card right now, right?
Well, I mean, sort of. I mean, that it's gonna be good eventually.
Right. But I mean, I think if I'm Lifecoach, I'm looking to end the game ASAP, right? I mean, you are sitting at 15 health when you're Lifecoach. Like, you're not that comfortable as well. You just started Dark Bombs and Hellfires and whatnot. Well, Hellfires, both Hellfires are yours, so you're okay with that. But even Handlocks have a little bit around reach with like silencing the Watcher and double Dark Bomb for 10 damage.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a swipe and a keeper here. Just get some extra stuff on the board because again, the more stuff you have on the board, the more damage that Savage Roar effectively deals. So if he can just get to a spot where he's got board presence and he's keeping the lead the entire step of the way, eventually he can just grind out Strifecro for most of his reasonable threats. and go forward from there.
Oh!
Wow. Is Lifecoach just going to go all in this turn?
Whoa!
Oh my. Wait, is he clearing or is he just straight up going all in? Wow,
No,
Lifecoach is
to
going
the face.
all in, and he's going to put Strifecro down to 2.
And you know what that means? What is the card that gives us the most health right now?
Oh, I mean, it's got to... Wait, hang on. Does he even need to play Jiraxis this turn? So if he plays Molten Giant, he can heal for 6. They'll put him at 8. Yeah, he needs to go above 8. That's for sure. Because
So he does play the Jiraxis.
I think you've got to be afraid to double swipe this turn.
Wow. Well, what happens if your opponent has another second combo, you know? You still have to play Jiraxis.
There's no way to play around that, really. I mean, if your opponent has a second combo, you're going to go to fall to 1. And
Well,
then,
then you're gonna go like, right? And then your opponent plays double swipe on you. Oh my god, damn it, Druids.
Yeah, I actually really like Lifecoach's play here, though. He doesn't have like a ton of reasonable options last turn, and he does have 2 swipes in his hand. He's already seen an Antique Healbot and an Earthring Farseer come out, so it's not too terribly likely he's got a ton of heals. But he's not gonna face Strifecro anymore. He's gonna face Jiraxis. Strifecro's moving back up to 15. Lotheb's going to die here, and he's got 11 points of damage on the board next turn. And with the Iron Beak Owl, he's actually got 15, but Lifecoach is down to 12. And that is not the way to end this game right now. He's got Big Game Hunter to try to extend this turn, but he's got to get some presence down, and he's got to make some moves fast, or this game is quickly going to slip out of control.
Well, I mean, the Sky Golem is not that bad. I mean, you can squeeze it in along with the BGH, but we see that Strifecro has the exact answer. And now every turn it's going to be 3 damage to the face and a 6/6. How long can Lifecoach even survive with this kind of pressure?
I mean, not too terribly long. I mean, he's facing down 7 just straight away, just from the silence and the weapon that he's got. And he's down to 12.
12 health. Man, I just don't feel like in the early turns, I feel like the Druid is always in the commanding position. It's like, where did this damage come from? Right? How did Strifecro hit Lifecoach for 20, about like 20 damage? You know?
Just kind of out of nowhere. It's just been kind of happening along the way between Hellfires and just random 3 power, random 3 power shots. And Lifecoach has got to do something though. He's only got a few seconds left in this turn.
Well, I mean, the 15 seconds.
Oh gosh, he's gonna draw some cards
here.
He's
draw more? Oh my god.
I mean, I think he's got to find a way to actually push his damage. He finally picks up an Innervate, but it's not going to be able to use this turn. And what on earth is Strifecro going to do this turn? He's got so much facing down. I mean, I gotta think he's going to use Siphon Soul here.
Well, you would think that you're facing the double combo Druid too, right? So silencing the Watcher and killing the BGH, and then Siphon Souling the 5/5 also lets you hero power, and also lets you push for 3 more damage. I think that's a very easy clear. But is there a better move than that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be concerned about double combo. If he hits the Big Game Hunter and then Siphon Souls afterwards, he's going to move his life total up to 14, which is directly in combo range. But he hasn't seen an Innervate at this point either. So if Lifecoach had combo and an Innervate, that's 15 points of damage. And if he's this far into his deck, it's so likely that if he has combo, he also has an Innervate to go with it.
That's true. So I think Strifecro is going to go along with the silence and siphon play. Just siphoning as an assassinate, yeah?
I don't know. I think he's going to keep his 4 or 5 healthy, and he's going to attack the Big Game Hunter.
Really?
In his face. Yeah. Wow. He's going to be safe.
He's going to play safe. I mean, playing safe is really, really good here. I mean, you get a free 6/6. Your opponent has to deal with the 6/6.
Well, it's a lot of pressure on the board, and 3 more damage going to face. Lifecoach is down to 9, and he's facing down a 6/6 and 2 1-health minions. He's got 2 swipes.
All right.
Picks up Root of the Claw.
Well, you know what? If a swipe goes down on this Inferno and the Keeper also comes down, then Strifecro is going to be at the magical 14. Oh my god. This is funny because it's like both players calling each other's bluffs, right?
Yeah, I mean, what can they do? Just gotta go for it.
Innervate is available here if he wants to drop a Shredder. Up, there you go. And now Strifecro has to deal with this board because if I was him, I would be super afraid of the second combo coming out.
Well, I feel like he's got a pretty good turn against this one, though.
Oh! That Argus! We're going to make
I
some
feel.
balls here.
I mean, I feel like his entire turn is just really good. He's got so many options available to him.
Hmm. Well, the option that sticks out the most right now for me is the Twilight Drake Hero Power and then Argosing both.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what I'm looking at.
Yep. I mean, Life Coach already used double BGH, so you know the last thing that could actually kill your things is Black Knight. So yeah, 7/7 taunted up is actually perfectly fine.
I can't disagree with you there. Yeah,
All
but I
right.
think it's what he's going for too.
Yep.
Wow, another huge turn for Strifecro. Life Coach gonna drop to 6 here. And he
Time is
needs
ticking.
yeah, he needs some action right now. Nourish gets drawn for Life Coach. It seems like this deck's dedicated so heavily to just drawing cards.
You don't say. So what do we do here? What Shredder minion could be good? Does the Sorcerer's Apprentice is it good here?
Well, we're gonna have to find out. I think you should be definitely attacking first. Figure out what you get, and Cruel Taskmaster is not gonna be it. And I gotta think that somewhere in here there's
There's a
there's just not really much you can do about it. I mean, I think at this point he probably is just gonna have to wild growth and maybe it's Black Knight. We don't even know if he's running Black Knight. He has so many like a little bit stranger 1-drops and stuff. I'm sorry, like 1-ofs and stuff like Nourish, and he's got Paladin Sky. He's got 2 copies of Azure Drake. I mean, I'm not sure Black Knight even fits into this list right now.
well, he could actually live if he uses Swipe and Drift the Claw and kill the 2 taunts, and he'll be down to 1 health. But he's gonna go and draw a card. This is the best phase for Life Coach. The last 15 seconds of the turn. That's where he does everything. And oh
my gosh, does he have time?
No, oh.
Wow, no, it just wasn't enough. Strifecro gonna take game 1. Wow, what a long game that one was, and just really the story of that one is Life Coach having to pull the trigger to go all in because he had 8 points of reach in his hand and 9 if you count hero power. So if Strifecro didn't have Jiraxis that turn, he was in really good shape to win that one. But it just happened that Strifecro had Jiraxis. I mean, it took a long time to get to that point. They'd both been drawing a ton of cards.
Yeah.
Not a lot of action had happened. It was just really Strifecro was able to stabilize.
Yeah, Life Coach is reduced down to a chair now. Oh, man.
He's been beaten down.
Yeah, but that was really well played by Strifecro, right? I mean, identifying everything. Life Coach did a very YOLO play. It didn't really pay off for him, but you know, judging by his hand, I think that was definitely the right choice as well. Your opponent just had 1 out, right? Jiraxis was kind of the only out. Like the heal bot was played already, so yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it because of that. I like because he's already seen a heal bot and he's already seen an Earthen Ring Farseer.
Yeah.
And just when your opponent plays both of those, a lot of times they've trimmed to get that utility, and part of the things they can trim to get that utility is Jiraxis. And so I think that's factoring into his decision as well, is that Strifecro just may not even have that card in his deck.
Definitely. And now, of course, when Life Coach comes back, we'll be ready to start game 2. Maybe he's thinking in his laboratory and deciding which deck he wants to play next. He only has the Mech Mage left, and he has a Paladin left to deal with this Handlock.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense he didn't coup this Handlock deck when he had a Druid with 2 big game hunters in it. But now, do you think he's cooing it with his other decks?
Ooh, I guess you just queue a Mech Mage, and if you do not have a good starting hand, then you just want to queue it away. But then once again, like you said, the Mech Mage from Strifecro is looking really, really strong, right?
Yeah. But I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get the win, and I don't think these matchups are necessarily favorable. I'm still torn on the Mech Mage one. I think Mech Mage is still pretty good versus Handlock. But you're saying that you don't think it is. That if Life Coach is thinking in that same vein, or he knows that's the case. I mean, he would be queuing it, I think.
Yeah, I guess we just have to like start the game and, you know, see what your starting hand is. You know, weigh your risks versus reward, and yeah, go from there. Really, Life Coach is still thinking really, really hard on which class to pick.
This seems tough to me. I mean, the coup here is like, Yeah, I think you really do want to save it for something like Mech Mage, but it's just I don't think you have that. I don't know if you have that liberty anymore. Like, you don't have the freedom of just being able to be like, oh well, I'm at an advantage and I can kind of dance around and do whatever I want. He's got to get something rolling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think he wants to face the mage against the druid either, because we know the Strifecro's druid was the heal you to death druid, right? The ramp druid that, against orange's Handlock, that was pretty insane. But the Paladin does pretty well against the druid, so I think he wants that matchup. Uh
Yeah, I think
Man.
the Paladin versus Druid is the one he's really looking forward to. Aside from, again, this the Druid he just had into Handlock.
Yeah, everything else is kind of bad, to be honest.
That was that was a really good matchup too, by the way. I think he just drew extremely poorly.
Yeah, he did draw extremely poorly, and he did draw a lot too, right? So,
Yeah.
gonna see the Paladin go up against Strifecro's Warlock here, and not really sure on the starting hand. Lifecoach does have an option to coup. Strifecro does not, but I think the Hellfire is gonna be a keep here against the Paladin. It's one of the only ways to actually clear the board of like small creatures nowadays. So yeah, back the way then, Handlocks usually run double Shadow Flame and one Hellfire instead, right? But with the introduction of like all these little dudes with implosion and like muster for battle and everything like that. It's just that Hellfire is just really, really strong right now.
Harrison also is in this Paladin deck, so I think that's factoring into the decision to queue this up versus versus Handlock right now is that he
Right.
knows Jiraxis is in here,
Uh-huh.
and so he knows he has a surefire way to deal with it if that situation comes up.
That's definitely true. Strefko seems like he has a very, very good hand here. One of them is going to get silenced, though, and one of them is going to get outered, though. So it's a lot of pacification coming from Lifecoach's side. This turn is not that. You do have the Mortal Coil available, so I guess you can tap if you want. Just Life Coil, Mortal Coil. But oh, Strefko's gonna go ahead and put the Drake instead.
Yeah, I like the Twilight Drake here. I think it's threatening enough, and if you're going to see a silence, it really doesn't make a difference whether or not it was a 4-9 or a 4-10 or 4-8, really.
Wow, Life Coach does his quickest turn
Whoa.
ever.
I have
Whoa.
never seen him play that fast in my entire life. Who is Life Coach
Whoa.
and what has this imposter done with him?
Life Coach just turned on his gears and is now Death Coach. He's plays super fast now.
Yeah. And now Strifecro, well, he's playing quickly too. This is something that's not always the most characteristic thing either. I mean, sometimes
Right.
it looks like he's Strife Coach.
God damn it! But yeah, is it just because both players are just so familiar with this matchup, they know what to do?
I think a lot of it has to do with just the fact that, I mean, what else are you really going to do anything else than Iron Begal that?
Mm.
Just, it's so perfect. It's a 7 damage battle. You're just not going to get more value than that, really.
5 mana turn here for Life Coach. Look at his hand. Do you just like hero power and pass? Because like, are you really gonna expend something like this? I treat Aldo more of like as a humility spell than a 3/3 body.
Well, I'm
It's just
curious. I've definitely seen him played as a 3/3 body before. I mean, really early on when he very first started playing Hearthstone competitively,
right.
he knew how to play Hunter, and then literally had never practiced with any of the other decks he played in a tournament. And so he would think about the game, and he would be thinking for like literally the full 90 seconds, and he would like play turn 2 Cruel Taskmaster just to get a 2/2 out. And then he had to play a Paladin deck, and it was the same way. He'd never played the deck before, and he literally copied the list from someone else and went into it on turn 3. He thought for the full 90 seconds and played Eldor Peacekeeper on turn 3 to get a 3/3 out.
Very
And since then, though, he hasn't really been kind of making the same, plays where he just completely devalues the battle cries of these effects. But he certainly does stuff aggressively to the board. And I think the only reason he doesn't play something here is just because he's got enough on the board right now that he feels like he doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah, and over back on Strefko's side, more options are available. Mountain Giant plus the Ancient Watcher is one way. Lotheb is also another way. You can also heal back up, but you really want to... This life total is where Handlocks actually thrive on, right? Between 10 and 20. After you play a Multi Giants, then you can play the anti-heal bots and heal back to full. Oh man, Life Coach's deck is so shiny.
Look at that Tyrion.
No, look at the Sky Golem, man. Moving up and down and up and down. He's ready to go. It's
He's
like,
flying.
it's turn 6. Let me at him.
Let me think.
Let me at him.
Oh. Okay,
He's like,
there you go.
he's like Jax from League of Legends.
Oh, with the big lamp.
Yeah, he did. Let me at him.
All right.
He's got a lamp for a weapon.
Yes, he does.
Imagine if he had a real one.
Back to Hearthstone now. We'll see that Strifecro does have 6 mana. 6 mana is a little bit more awkward, I guess. But Strifecro didn't really see the Elder Peacekeeper. But how do you really clear off this Sky Golem? Like, what do you do?
He's got silence available,
Okay.
but I don't feel like he wants to just be dictating a silence for a Paladin Sky Golem.
All right.
Like the Death Rattle rather on it.
So many possibilities.
So do you just like play a Twilight Drake and taunt something is up?
Whoa.
Whoa! What? Wait, whoa. And then Dark Bomb the 6/4 as well. That is interesting. Wow, what's gonna pop out here? Oh, Murkai has to show
Okay, hang
it.
on. We've seen two Death Rattles and Paladin Sky Golem. They've both been old Murkai so far.
No. Isn't it the thing? Like every tournament, the Shredders pop out the same thing. You get what I mean? Like Pinnacle 2 is Murkai and you know, and with Light Wells, right? Remember? Light Wells.
Yeah, and then the ESL thing was only Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah, exactly. Gold card tournaments. Don't you know the programming?
No, I don't. I mean, yeah, I'm a professional programmer, and that's what I do. And I've actually programmed this one to only spit out old Murkais. And the next one, it's going to be only useful Brewmasters and Dragon Link mechanics.
Okay. All right.
I wonder.
By the way, guys, I heard some conspiracy theories that Amarbull was actually voicing the innkeeper.
I would never do anything like that.
All right.
It's not voices are not up my alley.
Okay. Just checking. So here, Lifecoach has a 7 mana turn. I'm pretty sure the Shredder and the Aldor is going to see play, for example. What else is he thinking? He can think of Consecration, and then, you know, but then what is the follow-up? There's no follow-up. I think the Aldor, the Shredder is really good.
This feels like a good spot to Aldor too, because like silencing this giant to get its power back to 8 isn't really that efficient because it's already got 5 damage on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow, Lifecoach actually goes for the face here. He's like, yeah, I don't think you have Molten Giants. I'm gonna hit you.
That might have been the message that Strifecro was trying to send also with that Hellfire, was like that he had Molten Giants because Lifecoach played around them so aggressively in the first game.
Uh-huh.
So many
But
possibilities.
Lifecoach is not buying it.
Yeah, he just was like, you know what? 2 to the face.
Doesn't want Strifeco's popcorn. Not buying them.
This is a really tough turn.
I mean,
So many
ugh.
possibilities.
Like, damn, what did you do here? I guess you start a Twilight Drake because it has a big thing, and then you just Sun Fury, and then, man.
I mean, you're facing out 9 points of damage, so you have to do something to like kind of stave off your own life total. So I don't think this silence is like unwarranted.
Right.
Wow, he's gonna kill the Shredder instead.
Oh, he can't play the anti-Q bot. No, disaster.
Oh my gosh.
Mana Wraith, you
Wow.
ruined everything.
Wow, that was so brutal.
Oh man.
And now it's, oh my gosh, and Lifecoach just has access to Tyrion this turn, and he just saw an Ironbeak Owl, and his opponent's down to 7, and he's got a Consecration. Like, I gotta feel like the Tyrion is the way you're gonna go this turn.
What was that? That's why
Oh
I
my
hate
gosh.
popping Shredders, man.
Oh,
Popping
and it's good to see you again. He's gonna play Tyrion, and Strifecro has a Siphon Soul for it, but that's gonna give his opponent a 5/3 weapon.
Oh my god.
Oh,
of
this
course-
is
No
This
Molten
is-
Giants are gonna come down too, because otherwise they would have came down already, right?
wow.
What
No
a
silence available.
wow.
The taunts will just die. Like, I mean, do you really want to play Mountain Giant and taunt it up here? It's gonna get crushed by Tyrion if you do that.
Oh wow, it's
Oh, he's gonna life tap instead.
okay. Dr. Boom is
That's
something.
not gonna do. No, it's not good enough right now. He's at 5 and he's facing a Tyrion.
Okay, so do you just like play an anti-Q bot and pray here? Oh, you just
He's
get
gonna
it.
Siphon Soul it, so he's gonna go to 8. So Lifecoach right now is 1 damage off lethal. Can he pick up something and deal 1 point of damage? Gets a
Nope.
Sludge Belcher.
Pyromancer doesn't deal damage to the face. So, well, I guess you do want to establish the board, right?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I would tend to be favoring the Sludge Belcher here.
Yeah. Sludge
First
Belcher,
things
and then
first.
might as well play the Pyromancer as well.
Strifecro down to 3. The 3 health that Siphon Soul gave him.
Oh boy. Yeah, might as well play the Pyromancer as a 3-2 right now. That's gonna push a lot of damage if unchecked for. Both Hellfires are gone as well, so I don't see this Pyromancer going anywhere anytime soon.
Wow. Strifecro only on 9 mana as well, so only one of these antique heal bots is available to him. Shadow Flame, I don't know if, I mean, it may be enough to keep him alive for another turn. So if you can play antique heal bot, he can heal himself to 11.
Shadow Flame, and then he actually dodges the death once again.
I wonder.
Wow. Man, that mana wave. It was really weird, actually, when Strifecro killed the Shredder and the anti-kill bot didn't have the green border anymore. I was like, wait, did I do math wrong again? Because I tend to do that very often. Oh, man.
I wonder.
So, oh my. I guess that's really the only play, right? What else can you do here? Can't even Dr. Broom and you can Dr. Broom and taunt or Broombot and Dr. Brooma, right? Does that make you live? No, you actually die. You just
That's not enough.
die. What?
Wow, Strifecro is going to life tap. I gotta believe he's looking for a Molten Giant if he life taps here. And he's just going to concede, not even fight through it. Lifecoach is going to take game 2 on the back of some major aggression. But Strifecro also not really able to pick up any Molten Giants. And I want to think about that Hellfire turn where we were like so shocked that he Hellfired. It looked like he was sending such a big message that he had.
Molten Giants?
Yeah, that he had Molten Giants. And Lifecoach just didn't buy it.
Yep. And he was like, yeah, you are down to so low already, and you can just play 2 Moltens for free, kind of free anyways. So I'm just going to poke you down. You know, I'm just going to poke it down, get more aggressive board presence, and just, you know, stomp your way through. And yeah, Lifecoach gets rewarded by it. I think that Mana Wave was MVP, though.
I think that definitely affected him because his play didn't look like it was he wanted to do what he had to do. And instead, it was just like he didn't have anti-Keelbot available to him after that. And it was like, this is certainly the play you wanted to make because you just tried to send the image you had Molten Giants and now you obviously don't have them. Oh, it's so brutal.
That was definitely very brutal. So now Strifecro is the one who will have to switch deck up. I'm pretty sure the Lifecoach is pretty happy that the Handlock is over with. He still has the coup available, so he could battle a matchup that he thinks is really, really bad, and just hopefully get the win from there. You know, one at a time, really.
Yeah, which I still think he's going to be looking to target Mech Mage with it.
Okay.
I think it's where he wants to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense, I guess.
What else? I'm trying to think of like what else really happened that game that was really crucial. It was just like Lifecoach kind of having a good curve and Strifecro. That Hellfire looks so weird. The Hellfire had to be to try to send the message of Molten Giants, right?
I mean, I guess it has to be.
Because he just had like strictly better minion plays.
Yeah, you can just have traded in. You know, the Watcher would have still been there. You could have taunted up, for example. There were a lot of different plays you could have done. So yeah, I don't know. That was very definitely quite
And what tipped Lifecoach off to like just kind of be like, you know what? Nah.
Yeah, I
You-
mean,
you
if,
just
if your
don't.
opponent is gonna play Molten Giants anyways, you go like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just gonna do it anyways, right? I might as well have it. It's on a timer. When Moltens come down, and if you don't have answer for it, then you just have to rush through it, right? So
Right.
very nice play by Life Coach as well to actually correctly predict that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. If he's going to be able to play Molten Giants really soon anyway, you might as
Mhm.
well just kind of play as though they're not there, because when they're not there, you're just going to get rewarded,
That's true. That's
like a
true.
really
But
heavy
then
reward too.
I don't know. If I was in Life Coach's position, I would be very convinced that there was double motions coming. I didn't want to hit the face. But yeah, Life Coach showing why he's Life Coach, not just Rope Coach, Life Coach. And he also played that game really fast, so I'm gonna give him props for that.
That turn 4 was that was like Usain Bolt life coach.
Wow.
That's how fast he was.
Yeah, that was
He
a
was the
life.
fastest life coach in the world.
Oh my god. Wow. All right. So if you're Strifecro here, which deck would you want to queue up once again?
Mech Mage, I think.
Yeah.
Mech Mage is just gonna do really well. If he wants to try to get out the coup, maybe, and wants his Mech Mage to really be there, like maybe Paladin instead. Like, I don't mind taking a Paladin mirror here. And Druid, actually, I don't feel like it's very good versus this lineup at all anymore. So maybe Druid and just try to get a free win or something.
Yeah, free win. Druids sometimes just run away with free wins, right? Turn 3, Dr. Boom. Thank you for playing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Druid's not going to be doing very well versus this lineup. I could be wrong, but my instinct tells me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Strifecro definitely thinking a little bit here. Do have a lot of matchups to consider, and of course, the winner of this series actually gets to go to the grand finals directly. So very important match for both of these players. It is indeed going to be the Mech Mage, just like you predicted, Admirable. And here we go. The series is tied up 1-1.
Life Coach. Yeah, Life Coach. I was about to say, Life Coach really needs to coup this deck, because this is the one he's certainly afraid of at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
coup used on Life Coach's side. Strifecro's Mage is going to ban. Now no more coups are available. So it's a straight series. Life Coach has to use Paladin, so Strifecro has a little bit of an edge in that he can choose which deck to go against the Paladin. So he has a little bit more information.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta think he's gonna be going for Druid here. I think he just wants info and wants to try to get a win.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see happening anyway. I think there's a lot of merit to queuing a Paladin, but I'm so torn. It feels like Life Coach has a really big advantage now in terms of just the matchups that are left.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, we do know that Strifecro's Druid is the Super Ramp Druid, right? And I think Super Ramp Druid does really well against Mech Mage. Like, you just throw down a Belcher and then you follow that. As soon as you play Ancient of War and you're above 15 health, I think you're fine. Like, I think you're just sitting pretty.
That definitely can be a big difference too. Because a lot of my experience versus it has just been playing like a very standard, traditional kind of force nature combos. But if you end up getting to the point where you're getting down Sludge Belcher off, say like a Wild Growth or something, or getting down a 4/6, it's really easy.
Mm-hmm.
You just taunt up the entire time and go.
I don't know. Wild Growth is one of those cards that are just like, they hate to see that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, why is Growth Tender not being used in any Druid decks, You feel like it's like third Wild Growth, but then you kind of Wild Growth your opponent too.
Sort of. I mean, it's a lot like Cold Light Oracle. Like, you have to find a way to use what you gain to your advantage more than your opponent can.
Yeah, definitely one of the more tricky cards, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Strefco's going to go with the Paladin, and I think that's a very good choice because you do want to aim the Druid at the Mech Mage, so you really want to win this mirror. Paladin mirror. Lots of plays that you can make. Like we said, remember when we said which mirrors takes the most skill to play? I think Paladin is among the higher ones, right?
Yeah, I think Paladin is for sure. It's really like a test of patience in a lot of situations where you feel like you're under dire straits because you play against a lot of decks that, when you kind of leave stuff unchecked, they hit you for 36 or whatever it is. But in Paladin, really the only way that ever happens is with Quartermaster.
Sure.
So that definitely made the matchup a lot more aggressive than it used to be, but it's like just still so many times you have good chances to wait for stuff. and I would love to see people like I just love to see this matchup and see how people react to certain things and choose to develop game plans. Like looking at Strifecro's spot, what's going to be more important? Is it going to be more important to make a token or develop a shielded mini bot? And then why is one more important than the other, and so on and so forth.
That's true. I mean, if you do develop use the hero power, then for example, if you go to turn 4 and you want to play more minions, you actually get a free hero power, right? As opposed to shoot it mini bot hero power hero power, you have hero power shoot it mini bot hero power, right? So you actually gain extra dude here. So it's definitely quite tricky. But with a lot of mirror matchups, I feel like the most important thing is just board control, right? Hunter is all about board control. The Druid is all about board control. Even Warriors, into a sense that if you have a lot of minions on the board, they can't stack up armor. So I don't know. That's just generally how I tackle things. Board control.
Yeah, this is like very Strifecro-esque though, is just to develop your stuff early, and make pushes for it. I mean, this is so not uncommon for him to have played shielded minibot here.
Still can't see Lifecoach's cards, unfortunately. Maybe he hasn't accepted the invite for the spectator mode yet, so hopefully we get that done soon. It would be definitely cooler to see both players' hands than just one player hand here. But for Strifecro here, do you actually trade for the 1/1? I don't see a need.
No, I don't think so. I think wow.
Oh. Okay.
Apparently there is a need. Oh, you know what he's going to do? He's going to use this to buy himself time to get extra 1/1s on the board. Is what he's trying to do, I think.
Interesting. Okay.
And so, I imagine this is going to be a true silver champion, but like for instance, say that this Paladin Shredder summons a 2/3 now, and in the old situation, he wouldn't have been able to kill it off because he would have had one less token.
Sure.
So trading the shield here actually like bought him tempo instead of like the other way around, where trading the shield is buying Lifecoach some tempo because he's getting rid of the shield. Oh, an Ironbeak Owl gets summoned. Another reason why that 1/1 is so important. I mean, this is the difference between development and the little bit of extra value is that Strifecro is taking a little bit of tempo. I mean, it's not like a huge deal, but he does have a 2/2 on the board right now, which is going to contest 2 potential hero powers in the future. So he's been invested into this point, and now a second Paladin Shredder going to have to be played. And I mean, this looks to me like it's a really, really rough spot here for Lifecoach early on, because this Sludge Belcher is going to happen, and wow, he's actually just going to use the True Silver Champion first.
I think that's right. Right? What if another Mana Wave pops out?
I don't know. I like using playing the Sludge Belcher first, and then just holding.
What if a Doomsayer pops out?
I mean, I think it's fine. I think just holding is totally reasonable.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. There was a reset on the thing there. All right. Well, perfect. But yeah, once again, you can't play around too many cards. Okay, you either play around Doomsayer or you play around Mana Wave.
I would just like to see him play Sludge Belcher and wait. I mean, the Sludge Belcher is not getting threatened by this Piloted Shredder straight away. It's going to become a 3/1, and the Shredder's going to have its summon happen afterwards. So it's one of the reasons I don't like attacking the Shredder here, is because the Sludge Belcher is going to do the job for you.
Okay.
Then you just move forward.
Strifecro does not believe that's the case. He's just going to stab this, and what pops out here, it's going to be... Oh, it's just a Barber. That's completely fine. Oh, goes for the face instead.
Wow, and have he held... And had he done the play that I was thinking, Lifecoach just would have ripped Harrison Jones.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah. This is why you listen to Strifecro. See, I just learned something. This is every single time I watch Strifecro, I learn something else about the matchups.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
See, because then the other side
swords ASAP. Oh man. So now with Lifecoach's turn, doesn't seem too happy. You know, it's not happy times. You could outdoor the Belcher, I guess, and poke it with the 3/2, but other than that,
this looks like, I mean, this looks brutal. He just doesn't have much to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do outdoor this, I guess Shielded Miniba also makes sense. And you are holding a few more cards, and you are holding Lay on Hands as well with the Harrison, so you do have some you know, reloading methods, if anything. Huh.
This is tough. I actually really like tokening here instead.
Really?
Yeah, it's because it's just buying. Like the tokens here are just kind of used as like a heal mechanism more than anything else.
Right.
Like you're not getting anything from them.
Suicide's the 3/2 into it.
That's sort of
And,
strange.
whoa.
Yeah, the client's having some visual issues here.
Okay, so it's just visual issues, right?
Yeah, it's on actual rope that's happening. I've seen it.
He's
seen
down
this
to
happen
1 second.
He's down to 1 second. Time is running out. He needs to make a decision. It's just like the movie, like where Indiana Jones is like running for like to jump under the wall that's closing down. But every time he looks back and turns around, the wall is like another 2 feet above where it just was. And then he finally dives underneath, and the wall was closing on top of him. But then he's missing his hat. He turns around, and the wall is like another 2 feet back up. So he has time to grab his hat. This is like what that rope burn is.
You know, that's not fair. Strifecro is like already one of the best players in the world. And if his 1 second equals to everybody else's minute, that's not fair. This is my assessment.
Strifecro and Lifecoach
What?
have
Is
actually...
it rope?
Yeah, well, Strifecro and Lifecoach have just run the game out of rope. There's nothing left to burn, so the turns can't end automatically.
All right. Well, the Sky Golem does decide to pop up here. We only see Strifecro's hair now. What is happening? And yeah, Lifecoach does have his own Sky Golem, but the outdoor is looking pretty juicy here as well. -5 attack and summon a 3/3.
This is like this. I mean, it's just another tough scenario. Like I feel like you just have to Aldor this, but
you really want to develop the Sky Golem too, right?
That's what I mean. Like you're not getting anywhere. Like you're like, I want to be the guy who's ahead.
And 1/1, but that's about it. That's all you have. It's not just not quite as strong as a 6/4.
This is the benefit of that aggressive play. Is you are the one who's forcing your opponent to react to stuff.
Oh, does go the outdoor and the dude play. A little bit weaker on the board, but does pacify your opponent. Knife Juggler plus Muster could be pretty insane.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's a lot of knives.
Is that better than Dr. Boom though? Oh,
it is turn 7. You're right. Well, how do you deal with this board if you're gonna Dr. Boom? You're just gonna trade in your 1/4 into the 1/1 or something like that, or maybe even slime.
That looks fine.
Yeah,
I'd like using the 2/1 and then using the Dude Slayer on the dude. And then
really, actually, like the 2/1 on the outdoor, and then use the golem on the outdoor as well.
I'm fine with that as well.
Yeah.
I don't like leaving the 1/2 up into just a 2/2 though. That's the one thing I'm not a big fan of.
Exactly. So I definitely use the 1/2 to just trade for a minion here. Oh man. I mean, the Muster Quartermaster combo is still there too, so you don't really use the Muster if it's gonna get consecrated out, right?
He doesn't really have time to let the Knife Juggler Muster for battle animations happen anymore either.
Really?
Wait, hang on. Should he have used the Dude Slayer there, or should he have actually used the slime?
The slime.
He wants the Pilot Shredder to get to I'm sorry, the Pilot Sky Golem. He wants that to activate though, right?
That's true, but at the same time, the slime gets an extra value, right? I don't know. It might be being very close.
It's a matter of whether or not that value actually matters.
That's true. Maybe it's negligible anyways in the end. Well, Lifecoach here is facing down a Dr. Boom. Doesn't have any BGH, but oh my god, 2 Sky Golems? 2. That's a lot of Sky Golems.
Well, the first thing he's got to do is get through a lot of Boombots.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I don't think he can even kill any one of these. The person who plays the second Dr. Boom usually is a bit behind.
Yeah, especially in this Paladin matchup where you're going to have cards like Big Game Hunter, you're going to have stuff like Aldor Peacekeeper.
Oh man, did you play Aldor? You just follow up with Dude again. It's just like the last turn where you're not doing anything. Oh man. Is it just a Dr. Boom and just pass? And just say, yeah, you deal with this as well.
I mean, what better to answer Dr. Balance than Dr. Balance?
Oh man. I don't know. It feels like it's the eye for an eye situation, right? If someone punches you, then you want to punch them back, but you already got punched first and it hurts like hell. That's how I feel it, at least.
The moral of the story is don't punch people.
Did that was that an inspiring story?
I'm truly moved.
Okay, but now, okay, Strifecro has a lot of options once again.
Yeah,
Oh,
thinking about how
man.
boom bots pan out is like you could go through every single scenario, but you don't have enough time.
Yeah, so you better go through them fast.
What if that's what they're thinking about? If every single turn they're thinking about what happens on turn 7 when Dr. Boom gets played and all the boom bot pan outs.
Wow, if they're thinking that far, then they deserve to be the best. All right. Oh, just
Oh,
one, and one does not equal 3 here, unfortunately. Oh, do you want to try for the next one first? No.
wow, he's not even gonna juggle.
Oh, just gonna poke this
Oh,
first.
you know
and
what?
to the-
He's gonna play the Lothebs to lock out consecration from being an option this turn.
Oh, and then Quartermaster next turn is gonna
Yup.
push for a lot of damages. I like this. Wait,
I
do
would
you
like to
actually
see
kill
this Pilot Sky Golem get traded off.
No.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He's got access to 14 damage next turn.
But you know what? I know Strifecro remembers that there is a Pyromancer in Lifecoach's deck, and Pyro Equality does not cost 8 mana. It is actually 9 mana. So Strifecro with the low for that play actually plays around a lot of things.
I mean, this is really tough for Life Coach now. He just drew Big Game Hunter after he Aldored a big game, after he Aldored Dr. Boom too.
Yeah.
It's just got to be one of the worst feelings. That's like out there. You're like,
Ugh. What do you do here?
this is rough. This
The
is
equality to just kill a Lothar? You can't do that, right? Alright, I
think so,
guess
no.
you have to Harrison for some cards here.
Yeah.
Alright, what's a good card to draw here?
I don't really know if there is anything good to draw here.
3 mana? Ooh! If he can
mean-
just survive this turn, he can stabilize.
Yeah, I mean, he needs this. If the key is comfortably surviving this turn.
17 health. Oh man. Correctly does kill one of the 1/1s here. How much damage does Strifecro have? 5,
13.
6 plus 2. 5, 6, and 2 is 13. You're right. 13 is not equal to 17. Do you just wait. What happens if you just trade the Sky Golem into the Aldor? And what happens if you just get a Corcoran? Like, just win the game, right? Yeah. It's lethal.
13.
Whoa,
No.
What
'cause
if
he's
you
missing
just
damage.
trade it
Hang
in
on.
and you get an Arcanine?
You'd have to play Knife Juggler first.
Why? Oh, you do, I guess. But then you can't. If you draw Arcanine, you can't lay on hand to your opponent.
I think he's gonna trade in the Sky Golem.
I think so too. All right, the moment
Oh
of
my
truth.
gosh, the Arcanine to lay on hand your. I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
Remember
going.
last time
You're
that
going,
it happened when I called it?
you're going way deep now.
You gotta know all your 4-drops, my friend.
If he
Okay.
gets an Arcanine,
Gotta do
5,
those.
6,
Gotta run
7.
through those.
8 plus 8. He's only have 16 damage with that though.
Yeah. That's a lot of damages. All right. Come on, Strifecro, you gotta act fast. Gotta go fast.
Wow, he's actually gonna trade. This is really heads up.
And does not trade a Death Rattle, so when Lifecoach AoEs the board, it actually comes back as a minion.
Yeah.
Very nice play by Strifecro here.
Well, now, but Life Coach now picked up his True Silver Champion, so he can actually take that out and clear the board.
Mm-hmm. Man.
But is this how he wants to clear it, though? I mean, he's got a ton of cards in his hand, and he can get everything out of the way. But like once again you're yielding initiative to Strifecro, and that's been the story this entire game is that Strifecro has had the lead.
Story of your life, right? I mean, of course, I think you still have to go with that play. All of these, the 2/3/3s at the right side really just threaten too much, right? So I think you should sword the 1/3 first, and then use the Pyro Equality so that you take a little bit less damage.
Yep.
I mean, anything that pops out that's not a Death Rattle, you can kill with the Pyro Equality. There are only about... How many minions have Death Rattle that cost 4?
No, that I don't know off the top
I
of my
think,
head.
I think there's only one, the Shredder. I mean, everything else is not, really, right? The Void Caller is not in this matchup. Yeah, I don't think there is any. Chat will probably be correcting me right now.
Mechanical Yeti, huh? It's got a death
Yeah.
rattle.
Yeah, I mean, Death Rattle's into a minion. That's what I want to know. Damn it, chat. Lifecoach could, Lifecoach, oh my god. Strifecro could actually use Lay on Hands here and reload a little bit, or he can push for the win. Which do you like?
Yeah, I think after he just saw what he did, he's got to go with Knife Juggler.
Life Juggler
think
pushes a few damage here.
Yeah, I think he'd play Knife Juggler, the Sludge Belcher, and just make a token.
Alright. No, you can't make a token if you do that.
Why can't he?
Oh, Knife Juggler, Sludge Belcher, and token. No muster,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I was thinking
Right.
about muster.
Yeah, hold the muster for next turn to start checking things with the Knife Juggler.
Chugga. Right. Oh, no, he wasn't
Wow,
chugging
he's just gonna
now.
push for damage instead.
Oh, Lifecoach gonna 3 knives to the face.
Yeah, I mean this is totally fine too. Whoa, he chooses not to play Sludge Belcher though.
Oh, wow, 4th knife to the face and a hammer for the ending. That's 5 damages. That's a lot. Another equality, double equality for Lifecoach.
This is why didn't Strifecro play the Sludge Belcher here?
Is it because of Black Knight? Black Knight plus Consecrate would have been pretty bad, but I'm not really sure.
Me think.
I mean, is it gonna be that much worse than just getting consecrated in this position?
Well, I mean, if the Consecrate's gonna happen, it's just gonna be really bad already. But so it's like sometimes you just can't play around a card, right? But it's interesting. Maybe he does have a read that maybe he believes that Lifecoach is holding to a lot of drops, and the Black Knight is one of those cards that he would hold on to. But I think Lifecoach actually substitute these Black Knights for like Sky Golem instead.
That's what it looks like to me too. He's also running Harrison too, so when people are running both of those cards, they definitely have a lot less on the table. So now his own Sludge Belcher is gonna come. This is another one of the reasons I'm so confused about it.
All right.
Lifecoach though, it looks like he's managed to turn this game around. I mean, he's got a pretty big advantage, I would say. At this point, he's only down to 8, but it's just how does Strifecro push through this position?
Oh man, BGH is not what you want to see right now, at least. So yeah, I guess you have to like lay on hands and try and fish for more cards to try and end the game. Now you can't end the game with this current hand. It's not possible anymore.
I certainly don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility to see a Sludge Belcher here.
Oh, let's go.
Of course, Reds to say that,
yeah. That's a little bit more predictable. Equality could wipe the board if he draws something else, and Black Knight. Oh,
Ooh,
that
Black
could be
Knight's
a
not
card.
bad one.
But we do know that Lifecoach does play double Quartermaster. All of these ones could just get buffed to Oblivion.
I mean, that's something he's got to be really concerned about right now.
Oh, too concerned that you have to use the equality right now?
Gosh, I don't know. That is, oh, gosh,
Ugh.
it just hurts. Oh,
Ugh.
my stomach. Oh,
Because
No.
Lifecoach plays double Quartermaster, right? You saw it.
I mean, you can't just let it happen.
Oh.
I mean, I agree with the play here from Strifecro, honestly.
Oh wow, and it actually gets a little bit rewarded because Consecrate is just drawn.
Oh, I mean, that's the other thing he's got to worry about too, is just Consecrate. He's just hedging his bets versus as much as he can.
Oh man. Well, this is an empty board. If Lifecoach wants to play Dr. Boom, that's always good. If he wants to play around BGH, then Sky Golems is that's worth it there for, right?
Yeah. And I gotta believe it's Sky Golem here.
Send me into the battle. That robot is ready. Oh man.
Is that what he says? Does he send me into the battle?
Yeah, in robot language though. It goes like but it's basically send me to the battle. Yeah, that's the translation. See?
I think I remember it now. It's like the
Okay. Well, now the tables have turned around where it's Strifecro holding the two outdoors instead of Lifecoach now. It's Lifecoach of all the big dudes now, right? So it's like kind of the tables have been turned here. So I don't know. I think Strifecro, if he's the same game plan, he's just gonna remove as many 1/1s as he can, and playing the Belcher now does seem pretty good. Man, is there any other targets of Black Knight left in Lifecoach's deck? It's only Tyrion, right?
I mean, Tyrion's still a big one. But
And if Strifecro also has Harrison to go on law next turn with the Black Knight, then it's pretty good.
yep, second muster for battle gets picked up. He still does not have a quartermaster. He's running two of them, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he's quite comfortable enough to just to use lay on hands yet either. I think he's gonna continue to develop.
Well, I mean, he is sitting 8 health, and 8 is not comfortable, even though your opponent already used a lot of,
Yeah, I mean, he might have to lay on hands or something.
consecrates and whatnot. Yeah.
God, this is so tough.
Wait, if you lay on hands, then I guess you don't overdraw, but you have 10 cards next turn, and that's reminiscent of the Druid game as well.
I mean, he can still cast Equality afterwards.
Just like Strifecro did, right? Lay on hands into equality. That's the new combo, huh?
This seems like a good one.
Oh man, you do have to you definitely have to kill something. If you don't kill something, you're dead. So equality does come down here. Obviously a dude is gonna kill one of these this 3/1 here. And
he needs to get something going from there.
And Tastingo is really good.
Well, sort of. There's a
But-
Black Knight in Strifecro's hand though.
Oh wow, it's actually one of the worst ones.
Yeah, it's like one of the worst ones he could have possibly gotten right now. Second muster for battle comes in. 5 tokens on the board. I don't know what Strifecro can have to sweep all this. Oh my gosh, he picks up consecration though.
Oh
And
my
think
god! I mean,
Strife-
Lifecoach is running 2 quartermasters. Of course, you want to consecrate this board before anything bad happens.
I think Strifecro is about to take a massive lead on the back of some really favorable RNG that just happened. I mean, he had a lead for a very long time, and I don't think his pan out was the greatest. But my gosh, what timing!
Oh, exactly what the doctor ordered. But Strifecro thinking of something else. I really can't imagine anything else be played here, to be honest.
I mean, what else do you want to play? I don't see it.
Do you want to hold the Black Knight back? I mean, not really. I think the best way to deal with Tyrion is to silence it. But has Strifecro actually used the silence yet? I don't think so, right?
No, it's just I think the reason he doesn't want to hold the Black Knight back is just because he's so close to ending the game.
Right. But you develop a 4/5, so I think you just use it. It's just too good. Alright, Consecrate is gonna kill all these dudes, and... Yep. There it is. Just going through the all the possibilities, of course. And yeah, Lifecoach
Lifecoach
just...
does not have a way to answer this Black Knight. I think he's actually going to have to lay on hands here.
That's right. You died to your true silver, right? So if you
You
just
to
play
consecrate. You
Yeah,
died to
that's
so much
fair.
stuff. Yeah, he's going to have to just lay on hands, and this is going to give Strifecro another big lead in development.
wow,
100%.
KT!
Consecration, Ironbeak Owl. Those are not big helps right now. Shielded Minibot's going to hit the board.
Strifecro needs to
Lifecoach-
push.
Yeah, Lifecoach is getting really put on a back foot right now. Quartermaster gets drawn.
Not the best. Not really that good. Yeah, I mean, would you want to like just play a quartermaster with a dude and that's it, or establish the shredder?
No, I think he wants to shredder down. And in fact, like I think after you've seen the lay on hands here too, and you know that your opponent's like falling so far behind in pressure, there's definitely a merit I think to like killing your opponent's minions off. But I'm curious if that outweighs how much the damage in your opponent's face is going to be worth, because now you've seen them heal so much that they're starting to run out. Like once that's over, there's nothing left. But like if you don't trade with your opponent's minions and then they like slam a Tyrion and you don't have an answer for it, what are you going to do? I mean, I think he's just going to go for face. Yeah.
Yeah, and you are falling pretty low in health as well, right? Like, this is the spot where it's kind of like, kind of close in health in terms of health.
Gosh, and Lifecoach finally picks up a quartermaster, but he's got no muster for battles left, and a hand just chocked full of just good stuff the entire way through.
Yep, that's what happens when quartermasters take on a pizza break for too long.
They're just
Or
like
they are
hanging out.
quartermasters after all, right? They cut pizzas in their spare time. Oh man.
It's got, like, a
That
big
is just,
set on it.
it's, once again, it's just so much damage staring at his face. I mean, even though it's just 10 damage, you only have 10 health.
Yeah, I mean, this is the benefit of pressing the issue the way that Strifecro's done the entire game too, is that when Lifecoach is this low, he has to respond. Like, he doesn't have the liberty of just playing his big, most powerful minions and laughing at your opponent like, ha, 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 deal with these big things. Like, he has to consecrate here. He's got Pilot Skygold and Kel'Thuzad and Dr. Boo in his hand. He's got 10 mana, and he can't play any of them right now because he has to deal with the board position.
Oh man. So what do you do? Do you silence the Shredder to deny the 2-drop?
I think you hope you get a Doomsayer.
Ooh!
That is a really bad one right now.
You
That
don't
is,
say.
that is
Oh
really
my
bad.
God. Lord,
Strifecro picks up consecration, but he's a
man.
few points off of being able to end this game still. Wow, if that was like any other minion,
It was a 3-attack minion. It would have
Yeah.
been. It would have done it.
it
Yeah.
was 3 or greater.
Mm.
Well, unless it was an Ancient Watcher.
Oh. Well, yeah. At that, then it would just wash things. It's not gonna happen. Nothing's gonna
Yep.
happen.
I think you're just going to see Aldor, and I think you're going to see a token, and I think you're going to see a
And-
Quartermaster. And
Yeah.
Lifecoach is really out of ways to respond to board positions after this, and this is bad news if you're Lifecoach.
Oh man, 4 damage to the face once again. You're down to 6 health now. What can you possibly draw here to clear the board?
Black Knight has just dealt so much damage.
Oh, this
Lifecoach
Black Knight.
only, yeah, his Lifecoach has only got a few cards left in his deck too. Strifecro actually going to even attack with this last little weapon charge here to make sure that he gets every point of damage possible in case he draws True Silver Champion. Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Oh, he's going to save it. Second Lay on Hands gets
Lay on
drawn for Lifecoach.
But unfortunately, playing lay on hands, Strifeco's gonna get a lay on hands. Oh no! Wait. What if you sacrifice the Sky Golem here, and it pops a taunt or something? Is that one way to live?
You got to get something.
You have to get something. What if you get a charger, right? Charger taunts. Those are plentiful. Oh man. Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
No. That is bad news.
Oh, I think he realized. I don't. Oh gosh, what do you do? This turn sucks so bad.
Arkacho, why you gotta be so troll? Oh no!
Lore Walker Cho
Get
nets
some-
Strifecro. Like, did you see Strifecro's face? He was like,
His
ooh,
eyebrows light up just now. It was hilarious.
ooh, a lay on hands. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, that's gonna end the game. Lifecoach is gonna fall in game 3.
Oh my
What
god.
a grueling battle that Strifecro just fought. My gosh, that game was crazy.
Dude, all of these games are quite insane, and it is the playoffs after all, right? We do this. This is for whoever wins this directly goes to the grand finals and secures at least second place, which is pretty insane. But man, that Lorica show.
The big picture from this game is Strifecro being able to be aggressive and use that aggression to keep board control the entire step of the way through and force his opponent to be reactive instead of him having to be reactive. He's able to be reactive at select times where he can really use that to his advantage. Where Strifecro's reactions the entire game have to just be like, I have to do this or else I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And that's not the position you want to be in. You want to be able to react to things kind of at your leisure.
Oh man, and of course, Strifecro's top deck consecration just at the time he needed it actually helped a lot. Lifecoach was actually begging for Quartermaster to show up, but it just never showed up,
Yeah.
right? But still, you got to play with what you have, and Strifecro did play pretty well there. So there you go.
No Kus available, and he's down to Mech Mage. I think that Mech Mage can 2-0 this lineup though. I mean, Paladin is. I think it's a pretty bad matchup versus Mech Mage, and I think Druid's also pretty bad versus Mech Mage too. But you keep stressing the fact that Ramp Druid's going to perform differently versus Mech Mage than sort of like a fast Druid would.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Especially if you do start with those wild growths or even the shade of Naxxramas, for example. Like if you set up the wall and you're above 15 health, how else is a mage going to get through that, right? No spare parts silence, no spare parts, get through the taunts. It's just there. And without minion damage, and if you're gonna just rely on spell damage, you have to draw exactly Fireball, Fireball, Frostbolt. And that is so hard to do in the Mech Mage.
Certainly is. Gosh, it's just and then you have to worry about heals at that point too.
Oh yeah, after that you just no, that's just it.
Yeah, the potential for Ancient Lord to heal instead of just sit around and do nothing really. Yeah.
I think in the Mech Mage matchup, if you're using a Druid, you usually just use Ancient of Lord to heal yourself, right? Usually the Mech Mage card quality is a bit lower, but they can use it faster. But then the value of your cards are higher, so you just generally can only play one card per turn. So you don't really run out of cards too often.
Yeah, it just really depends. Like sometimes you're going to use it to draw cards just because you need options available to you. But sometimes you're going to use it to heal because you have to heal or you're going to lose. And then a lot of times I've noticed when I use it to heal, it's just because I don't need any more cards. Like I have a very comfortable lead and using the heal just it's like when you Alex Strasser yourself and you have such a huge lead on cards that you just don't lose the game after that. It's like a battle cry effect that effectively deals 30 damage because you're like, look, I have enough cards to kill you. Here's the thing that makes you so where you can't kill me no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so like Strifecro is gonna be using his Paladin against the Mage, and if Lifecoach actually wins this one, then he has a chance to actually take away the series after beating the Mech Mage versus the Ramp Druid, which is pretty tall order. So it's basically the second to last boss, if anything, and Druid's like the big boss at the end of the raid, if anything. Yeah, you gotta beat this one first, and you are out of wipes. This is the last attempt.
Yeah, I'm not sure what thought there is anymore at this point. Just ready for the game, and a pretty good opening hand here from Strifecro, and a decent one also from Lifecoach.
Yeah, both of these starting hands are pretty fair. Strifecro obviously don't really want the Tyrion to start, and Lifecoach only mulligan one card. He thinks the Mech Warper is fine, the Chaga is fine, and they actually kept the Strider as well, which is quite interesting.
Strifecro's opening hand has Doctor Boom and Tyrion in it.
That is
really ugly.
All right, this Chaga is gonna, do some work, but the Knife Juggler is actually gonna stop it. If there is a Frostbolt, then I guess Lifecoach could answer this Knife Juggler. Otherwise, I guess it's pretty much gonna be, just gonna be a Mech Warper and probably a hit on the Knife Juggler.
I wonder.
Gosh, I don't know. If my opponent played Knife Juggler here and I had the Snow Checker, I don't know which one I would actually attack.
Well, you get punished a lot if he plays Muster for Battle, right? Because 3 knives are actually throwing away, and then Knife Juggler kills the one that's higher health, and now you're left with a 2-2 or even 2-1. That's really damaged. I think you just have to trade. So yeah, just you just need to weigh in the consequences of both. Hero power does seem a bit lackluster, if anything, because against the Mech Mage, the only way to win early game is to establish the board. So yeah, Knife Juggler, I do agree with that play a lot, and I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I'd be tending to go with Knife Juggler here pretty much every time, just to make sure you have to get the Snow Checker dealt with. It's like one of the most dangerous ones because it's just shutting off cards in your deck that you need access to.
Well, how's about a Mad Scientist here instead?
Well, if he plays Mad Scientist, I mean, the idea behind the Knife Juggler here is that Knife Juggler is meant to kill Snow Chugger. So if he plays Mech Warper, either Snow Chugger's going to live and he's going to get to play a turn 3 Piloted Shredder, or he's going to kill the Mech Warper and you're going to get to keep Snow Chugger.
Right. But then another thing with Mad Science is that you want to use it as soon as you can, right? So you actually don't draw into Mirror Entity. That is one of the most important things that a Mech Mage player can do, right? If you to be good at Mech Mage, guys, you have to be good at not drawing those secrets. Oh, Mech Whooper does come down, and does Lifecoach play around Muster for battle? Yes, he does. So now Strifecro. Oh man, another big draw. That's not really good.
Yeah, this draw's looking really ugly for Strifecro.
That is an Enoratron Slayer.
Oh, this is tough.
Let me think.
I think you still go with the shielded mini bot, but if you whiff next turn, then you wish you haven't. Right? It really depends on what you're gonna draw next turn. Because if you hero power here and you miss a draw, for example, you draw another 5 draw of Belcher, for example, then you wish you hadn't done this move, right?
Yes and no. I feel you got to get something going. You don't really have the liberty of just not doing anything. And I think he's playing this shielded mini bot hoping that he's gonna ping, go with it. And oh gosh, this is so brutal. Strifecro has
exactly
zero
what I meant.
plays.
Yeah, this is exactly what I meant. So if he actually hero powered last turn, he would have got an extra 1-1. And now with this, he actually lost the 1-1, which is pretty brutal. But of course, sometimes you just really want to draw something like a True Silver this turn, right?
Yeah, I think he was more so hoping that he actually draws into a 4-drop or another 2-drop he can utilize.
Sure. But yeah, here, Strifeco's just thinking about where to trade the Divine Shield right now and make this minion a little bit more, useful. I mean, even with trading like this, the Shielded Main Bot effectively becomes a 2/4, right? And a 2/4/2 mana, that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick.
No other mechs in Lifecoach's hand, so he's got a Mech Warper, but he can't make use of the fact that he's got 2 mana off of all of his Mech Warpers.
Right. That's an innervate every turn, by the way.
I mean, this one's 50% off. Next one's free.
Oh man, you sound like a bad salesman now.
Mech Warper can get your portals online.
Okay. Well, Lifecoach, does he actually clear this 2/2? I mean, he didn't see a True Silver Champion. He didn't see a Consecrate wouldn't have been played, obviously. So, to the dome.
I think when you have 2 copies of Fireball in your hand, you definitely want to push the issue.
Oh, you're right. You're definitely right there. I mean, Strifecro is effectively only 12 health, right? So Lifecoach just needs to find 12 more damage somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I'm pinging the 1/1.
Yeah, but
I'm
do you trade for the
pretty-
2/2 here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to Dome.
Go to the dome,
Yeah.
where I belong.
Boom.
Oh, okay. Lifecoach being pretty aggressive here. Belcher should be realistically the only play. And of course, you don't want to hit a Mad Scientist because you don't want to give your opponent a Sludge Belcher. So, the turn kind of plays out itself here.
Maybe he does want to give him a Sludge Belcher. He's got a Black Knight.
What? No. No. Admirable, you silly. Oh wow, does block the secret right now. Okay. Interesting.
Wow, that actually is really interesting.
Yeah, I thought he would actually kill the Mech Warper here.
Tough turn from Lifecoach here too. Sludge Belcher seems to do a really good job at making Pilot Treader turns awkward.
Right. And the Blast Mage is gonna come before the Shredder hits. There might be some residual damage here that's not that good. And oh. So now, I guess you still use the Shredder to hit. So you effectively wasted 1 damage in the face, right?
Oh, he gets a 2/2 taunt.
You know what that means.
That's sick Black Knight value.
You know what that means. That's value. Yeah, if Trump was here, it would be value. Oh, how about that instead? Because if you play Black Knight, your opponent's gonna get a Black Knight.
Yeah, and he's aware of that.
Right. So maybe Equality and Muster is looking a little bit more juicy because you don't give your opponent anything.
Let me think.
Yeah, I think equality muster here is pretty sweet. Although next turn you are gonna face a lot of damage.
He doesn't really have a way to play around that though.
Right.
Let
And
me
this mirror entity is so annoying, don't you think? Gosh. Damn it, mirror entities. Alright,
That's
so
exactly
it
what he's
does.
gonna do.
Let's go with the equality muster kind of cleared play.
Oh, and I think that Lifecoach has found that 12 damage that he needed.
More than enough. But does he actually do it now? Is he afraid of something like an antique heal bot or something like that? Does he actually fireball the face right now?
5, 6, 7 drops it into 11. Plays a spider tank and fireballs. That looks pretty good to me.
Okay. That's 5 to the dome, 2 to the dome, of course. Spider tank. And is this a fireball to the face?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I think Strifecro just got the bad news in the mail,
Yep.
which is
You're dead.
there is just absolutely no way that he could win this game.
wait.
Lifecoach is going to dominate Strifecro in Game 4 of this series with Mech Mage. This wasn't even that good of a Mech Mage opener. It was just like really standard. It was like 2-drop into 3-drop into, or 2-drop into 2-drop into drop into just, he just had stuff. Just beat him up.
Yeah, it was more so that Strifecro's hand was really, really bad.
Yeah, that too. I mean, he didn't have a turn 4 play.
I mean, he
No
has a
turn
straight
4 play
now.
is just, he didn't have a turn 3 play either. It was turn 2 and then that was
Alright.
it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is not going to work out. But, I mean, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know his opponent's fireball. So, he might be
Sure.
thinking of
He's
to solve this
he's
problem.
going to go through the motions of it, but he's going to get the bad news.
Right.
I must move quickly.
Oh! How about a shredder and actually kill the shredder and see what happens?
He's going to hope to get a Doomsayer.
And it is? Oh.
Oh.
It's just a girl. No doomsayer.
Novice Engineer. That was Paladin Shredder's a pretty good invention that she made, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's driving that Paladin Shredder around. Anyways, Lifecoach is going to tie this series up at 2 apiece now, and it's coming down to this last game, which is the one
ace
that
match.
we're kind of split on this, on the opinions on this one. This
Okay.
is Ramp Druid versus Mech Mage. You're thinking the Ramp Druid does a good job versus this. I'm thinking
think
that
it's
Mech
awesome.
Mage is going to feel pretty good versus what's happening. So
All right.
this is the match that we've been waiting for, and it all comes down to this. I love 5-game series where everything that happened before this doesn't matter, and it's one last game for everything.
Oh man.
That's what I want. I want someone to win, and I want someone to lose. There's no ties here, no group hugs.
Well, I mean, even though if there is a tie, we're gonna make it so that there is no tie, right? How
Right.
often is there even a tie in a tournament so far in Hearthstone? I don't think so.
I'm certain it's happened, and maybe not in like a major broadcast, but
Maybe
I'm certain
not.
there's been a tournament out there where both have been at 3 and someone's Hellfire, and they've had to redo the game.
Sure. And this is it, guys. Zombie Chow opening for Strifecro. That is insanity. And of course, the Lifecoach does have a Cogmaster here, so that's also pretty good. Just need another mech to activate its effect, though.
This is a really strong opening so far for Strifecro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. What?
Whoa. Lifecoach hits
Uh-oh.
what I would consider to be close to 2 perfect cards.
Mind Control Tech.
Mind Control Tech is really good in this matchup, though.
Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting. That is not a mech, unfortunately. I don't think Lifecoach wants to see a Blast Mage this early.
No, I think he just wants to draw mechs at this point.
Yep. Man, Zombie Chow gonna come down here, and of course, Lifecoach is gonna respond with Mech Warper. And Raph actually clears the Mech Warper really, really well. So I think Strifecro definitely has an edge in this.
Yeah, I mean, this opening is really solid.
Mm-hmm.
Both of their openings are really good, and then Strifecro's just got like the answers that he wants.
Thinking really, really hard. What is he thinking? Is he really thinking of like coin innovative engine?
I don't think it's bad. I definitely think there's some merit to it, but
But
I
then
would like to
zombie
see-
chow turn 1, you know? It's,
I would definitely like to see him hold.
yeah.
I think he's going to attack the zombie Joe too. Yeah, he wants to keep his Mech Warper as secure as he can.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that is the big baddie you want to see, especially on Innervate. Oh man.
That can definitely get some work done. I imagine Strifecro is just going to Wrath here.
Yeah, you have to Wrath and Innervate that's on the board. That is just way too dangerous. Lifecoach looking for a 2-drop here, and he gets it.
Oh, and it's a good one too. It's going to help shut off hero powers.
Oh man.
And he's going to be able to play Goblin Blast Mage next turn, and this could get pretty ugly for Strifecro.
Wait a minute here. Wait a minute. Do you play empty tech and then next turn you have the Ancient of War? Is this how you go towards this?
That seems like a really big all-in. I think you just coin Senjin.
Coin Senjin, but what are you doing next turn? Next turn MC Tech? Oh man. I mean, MC Tech is it really gonna be used in this?
Well, say you coin Senjin, and he doesn't attack with his guys, but he has stuff to develop, so he just plays 2 guys after that. Then you MC Tech one of his guys, and then you blow up him with something else.
That does make sense, but
He's so I feel like he's so unlikely to attack when you play Senjin too that you're gonna have options for this to happen.
But at the same time, what does Mech Mage have to do with an Ancient of War that's 10 health if taught?
That's a good question.
Nothing. I mean, I think the best answer to deal with an Ancient of War in that sense is just a reversing switch, right? That is the only one. Oh, that's cool with the coin engine play. So Lifecoach here is gonna draw into a. Oh, that is not. Well, is that something you want to draw? Actually,
I think it's fine to draw.
Yeah.
It's like this is one of the. I think this is one of the better cards versus Druid.
Yeah. All right. Well, here Lifecoach is deciding where to attack first. If he attacks, he actually commits to killing the Senjin, and if it misses, then his other robot also dies. So I actually like playing the Goblin Blast Mage first. And if there is such thing like if it hits for like 2, for example, and it's a 3/3, then you can go from there and decide. But if all 4 goes to the face, at least you know that you're not gonna have to sacrifice any of these. Oh,
and
you see what I mean? You see what I mean, Admiral? It happens so much that the Blast Mage just loves the face. It just loves the face.
Do you sack your guys here though?
That's so disgusting, though.
I think you just pass. Just let him deal with it. Let him figure it out.
Well, if he deals with it, he's only gonna. If Struggle deals with it, he's only gonna be losing 1 creature, right? Maybe you sacrifice the Snow Chugger and force him to attack the Snow Chugger, for example, right? Not even.
Yeah, I think you just wait.
Alrighty. Now, Strifecro. If your opponent's gonna wait like this, suddenly Mind Control text looks so much better to keep than play.
So now I'm curious the merits of actually killing the Goblin Blast Mage here.
Oh, really? What? No. No, you can't do that. It's a Mech Mage. You don't want to take any more damage. There's no way.
Well, how does he stop that from happening though?
Well, I don't know. I guess I guess you definitely kill the Mech Warper because it's still presenting a lot of like curve issues, right? For example, if he doesn't kill it, Lifecoach should play as Pilot Sky Golem next turn. And then his follow-up would probably be MC Tech. I don't know. Killing your opponent's creature isn't to be greedy anymore. Wow. That is something I did not expect.
I mean, this is the other. You got to do something to start taking care of the board.
Right. And hey, Drew the Claw. Let's get rewarded by that. Mad Scientist and Mirror Entity. That seems kind of redundant.
Wait, if you play Mind Control deck while your opponent has a Mirror Entity,
Yep.
does it steal?
No, it doesn't. Well, yeah. If your opponent has 3 creatures, right, and you play Mind Control tag, it doesn't steal anything.
Okay.
Because it's a battle cry. So that's a shame. But do you just drop the mad scientist and the mirror entity here? Because the thing is, like, if your mad scientist actually dies before the mirror entity is triggered, then it just dies with nothing. It's kind of awkward like that.
You can also just, I mean, you can just ping too, but I think you have to get the mirror entity online.
Wow. Does do both. And
just
does
trade.
trade to prevent the Drake from actually killing the mad scientist for free, right? So now, what do you want to donate to your opponent? Oh. I
mean, Azure Drake's fine.
it's fine, I guess.
The worry is like if they have Frostbolt or something.
Yeah. You are at 27 health, so it's fine.
You could just charge Druid of the Claw and then run it into the...
Under the scientist?
No, run it into the Druid of the Claw that gets summoned.
Oh my god, 5 mana to deactivate a trap. That is just pretty gross.
I mean, that's what Azure Drake's going to be.
Yeah. I guess. Charge to remove the mirror entity. Wow, the mad scientist removing a 5 mana creature off the board as well. That's pretty insane.
What a great card.
Yeah. Well, it's turn 6. It's about to be the penultimate turn, of course. And it's looking like Strifecro's MC Tech might see some work.
I mean, Dr. Boom's was certainly going to come down. Next
Yeah,
turn.
and I am liking this MC Tech the more I look at this.
Oh, he picks up a swipe too.
Wow, MC Tech into swipe. Is that the dream?
It's looking pretty dreamy right now. What if he just gets a Doomsayer? It's just straight
Oh
away.
my god. And then it's just like, wait.
I'm always worried about this getting a Doomsayer. You know, I say this every time, but one day it's going to happen. River Crocolisk.
Oh, it's Beardy instead.
You don't want to go down to that river at Crocolisk.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous place.
Oh. This could be
my gosh.
huge turn for Strifecro.
Oh my gosh, if he takes the Dr. Boom.
Oh.
Wait, but he drops a second swipe. Okay, so...
You can't use it. You can't use it.
Yeah, I know. You can't use this turn. And obviously you can't take this damage. So...
Okay.
There's never any merit to playing Ancient of War here, right?
No. I mean, MC Tech has been waiting for so long. It's time to show his genius powers, you know? 20%, 40% to get a 1/1, 40% to get a small minion, but oh, that juicy Dr. Boom. It's basically 50% to get the Dr. Boom, right?
Basically 50%. You either get it or you don't.
Yeah, it's either really good or really bad, so you might as well do it. You know, the MC Tech actually is screwing a brain, you know? Like, the screw is actually on the brain there. And... Oh!
Are you kidding me? Strifecro steals Dr. Boom with a mind control tech with 5 minions on board.
If that is not the series winning play, I don't know what is.
Wow. That is a huge steal right now. Wait, these boom bots can return the favor.
Oh.
Look at how confused both of these players are. Neither of them have any idea what just happened. Oh, and Lifecoach draws one of the worst cards in his deck, the second Mad Scientist. I mean,
And this is the point where we remember, you just stabilize and you just play Ancient of War, and then Strifecro also has scenarios to follow up. Wow.
I'm curious, like, what other plays he has available to him though.
What other plays? I mean, you can only play one card, right? In this kind of thing. Could you swipe and hero power instead on the Mad Scientist? It doesn't really seem too good. I think Ancient of War is really, really strong. Because, like, we do know that Mech Mage, the repertoire of Mech Mage, is like, make do a lot of big minions and do a lot of big damage, but...
I actually really like swiping, and it's because if you get something that doesn't have 4 power, you actually come out way ahead in this trade.
Okay. And what is this? Oh, that's a small one. That's a baby.
Wait, does Lifecoach not have any? Does Lifecoach not have any secrets left?
No, he does have one left, right?
We just saw Mad Scientist die.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh my gosh, he's only playing one copy of Mirror Entity?
Wait, did he play
Wait,
two?
no. He already got. Wait, no, he can't have had two. Because all he got was the one, right?
He only copied the Drew of the Claw.
Yeah, so he just doesn't have two
Anything
copies of
else?
Mirror Entity.
Whoa. Are we sure? Wait. Chat would be really mad if we're actually saying this wrong. But actually, I think it's only one. That is pretty interesting. But yeah, at this point, I think Strifecro was just gonna win. Like that Dr. Broom MC tech was just too big.
Yeah, I mean that's just too much. Trades off the asterisk here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the worst draws in his deck right now too.
I am ready to the party, but you're pretty late. There's always somebody late to the party.
Oh gosh, and just taunt after taunt after taunt's gonna hit the board.
Where shall I strike? Oh wow. Strifecro's just gonna go for face here.
Yep.
He knows the reach of a Mech Mage with only one card. Nada!
Yeah, it's pretty darn close to zero. 0% chance.
At least there's a trombone keeping Lifecoach company.
Oh my gosh, and he gets a once again no minion. This is just done. I don't think there's any cards in the game that can get Lifecoach out of this one. I mean, maybe if he'd drawn a Deathwing, he'd have some semblance of a chance, but there's just, I mean, look at the board presence. Strifecro's going to take the series 3-2 on the back of an insane mind control tech turn. There are 5 very small, almost worthless targets at that point. Lifecoach actually didn't even have another mirror entity, so if Mad Scientist got stolen, it wasn't of any consequence.
That's true.
And he steals Dr. Boom.
That is the dream. Once again, if that's not the game series winning move, I don't know what is. Let's take a look at the brackets really fast. We did have updated. This is day 3 of the Pinnacle, which means it's the playoffs. Strifecro goes to the winner's bracket and actually secures at least $1,500 in tournament winnings. Of course, he has a chance to play for first, but the minimum he's going to get in this tournament is 2nd place. Of course, in the grand finals, we also have like an extra advantage for Strifecro because he is from the winners brackets. He is going to get a revive. So he can actually play a deck that actually got eliminated in the series before, but that was not Cood, okay? Like Cood's deck cannot be played again. So the grand finals is going to be best of 7. Meanwhile, Lifecoach is moving on to the losers bracket, but one game ahead of Orange, and the winner between Forsen and Deflor, that is going to be the next match that comes, if we can actually show that graphic. This is the last match we have before finishing off the playoffs. Deflor versus Forsen. We do see on the other hand that Lifecoach did advance in the winners bracket, so we will fill that in after the break. But yeah, Deflor and Forsen is going to be the next match. So you do not want to miss that, guys. More great games coming from the Pinnacle 2 by G2A.com and Twitch. Team Archon is hosting this tournament, of course. And we'll be right back after this short break.